Warrior, welcome back. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday weekend. Let's get down to business, back to business. Please like these videos. Please make sure you are subscribed to our Warriors channel, and let's get to it. This is Monday, July 6th. I'm giving you the date because what I'm about to say is important, kind of relates back to our 4th of July. You know, freedom, families, the next generation. I believe as we celebrated our wonderful birthday for our country, and indeed, I want to remind everybody, we do have a wonderful country. I think we should all agree upon that first and foremost. The new frontier is really, while we're talking about freedoms and those who fought for our freedoms and not dismissing any of that, but the new frontier is really safeguarding and protecting the freedoms of our children. Weekend. Warrior Day, taking off a lot of people today for this long holiday weekend. But, you know, our founders, let's go back a little bit. Our founders in America, they really spoke quite often about posterity. So what does that mean? It's about one generation accepting responsibility for another generation. And I don't understand, why it's so difficult that we have to constantly fight and talk about protecting our children, whether it's online or in real time. You know, the responsibilities today are something our founders. Now, again, I'm tying this all into the 4th of July. We've just come through this wonderful holiday here in New York City. It was fantastic. I mean, to have a flyover over the Hudson, where I could just look out my windows and see this, to see all of the ships all over the Hudson and the parade of ships, and then to see all of our servicemen and women all over New York City being wined and dined and taken care of. They don't really show you that, actually. Where New York is very, hospitality towards everybody, opening their doors. Let me focus for a minute on the good. Opening their doors, the restaurants, the Broadway shows, the bars, the everybody. But you don't hear about that, right? I digress for a moment, I admit. But a wonderful weekend, and we were so lucky to be able to host our military. Okay, now getting back to this, I want to say, what good is any of this freedom we keep talking about if our children cannot simply navigate the world they are going to inherit from us? Everything I always talk about is, I always say, it's about our future American adults, our future American leaders. Somebody said to me the other day, well, what does child safety have to do with independence? And I said, it has everything to do with independence, because we have this responsibility, because our children, nobody asked for it. None of us did. Certainly not our children. We're born in this digital bubble. And I like to say 30 and under born in the digital bubble. And now our duty is to enact safety measures. We talk about this every single day, 7 days a week. I'm going to say 20 hours a day, not 24, 20 hours a day. And again, what is the difficulty here in enacting some safety measures? The throwback I get, I don't know if that's the right word, the pushback I get sometimes is horrendous online. What people write to me, say to me, now granted, we know some of it's bots. The most horrible things, and we're a family program here at the Warriors, so I'm not repeating them, but I always equate it, I can take it, I'm a warrior, but I always equate it to kids who are getting bullied online and deluge online. And we know a lot of them are bots, right? I dare say probably some of them from big tech themselves. Again, I'll hold that thought for a second. But imagine a 12-year-old kid getting bullied relentlessly, what that does to them. You know and I know, because I have people my age now say, I still remember that from when I was a kid. These are things that leave this mark on us for the rest of our lives, and we're allowing this to happen right now. So the 4th of July reminds me, and I'm sharing with you, reminds us, while we have a responsibility to our next generation. Our children are not free. We're sitting now on artificial intelligence. It is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking what is going on in Capitol Hill. These people are elected and work for us. Yes, there are a handful of good people. I mean, a handful. I can count them on my hand because there's so much money on Capitol Hill right now. So many of these big tech companies employ lobbyists to constantly be on the Hill in the ears of Republicans and Democrats alike with what they're talking about. We have to have global domination. We have to have innovation. We have to have the technology to beat China. Those old stories. Look, we are all about pro-innovation, pro-technology, but we want some safeguards. We can't unleash this. Didn't we learn anything from social media unleashed on our children over the last 30 years? We've got the studies now. We've got the teachers, the parents, the kids themselves. We've got the psychologists. We've got our own, Surgeon General talking about these things. Yet we have to fight so hard. So simply, our generations now deserve our attention. They deserve all of us to mentor all of our parents out there. If you buy a device, you got to parent up, put safety features on, understand what's going on, don't close your eyes. You can no longer depend on sending your kids to school for safety, learning about these things, because the schools are some of our biggest culprits. They're unleashing AI into the classrooms. They're being forced to. A lot of teachers don't even understand what it is, what they're doing with it, but they know it's not right. Okay, they fear for their jobs. Some are stepping up. We've got some whistleblowers, but right now it begins at home. So we just got through this wonderful 4th of July weekend. Let's take a step back. Let's make this commitment for our family digital partnership, for our children, that we will talk to them. We will understand what's on their phones to the best of our abilities. We will, I don't like the word monitor, but we're at a point in what it's about. Because of all of this, again, AI generated material, if it hasn't hit you yet, it's coming into your home any second. The predatory algorithms, which we have proof about, the sextortion, the deep fakes, the online grooming, the cyberbullying, which I mentioned. They're doing it to me. They're doing it to the kids. They're doing it to all of us. This very sophisticated digital manipulation. So I say to you, let us come together. Let us, again, the rallying cry is protecting our children. The rallying cry is you buy a device, you have a responsibility to enact safety features. And the rallying cry is community creates change, and nothing can replace the responsibility of in the home. So whether your home consists of grandparents raising kids, older siblings, aunts and uncles, we have all different dynamics today, but everybody's got to get on board, right? So let this 4th of July, as we celebrate our 250th birthday, remind us protecting the freedoms of our children, of our future generations. Don't forget, always subscribe to these videos, like them, help us get on the superhighway of our information getting out there. We need everybody to understand what's going on with all of this big tech. Remember, we are all pro-technology, pro-innovation, but we want some guardrails, we want some safety, and it starts with you. When you wake up each and every day, remember, what do I always tell you? Go out and be a warrior.